Okay, let's talk about mortgage demand. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. So, and this is something that I know we've been seeing a lot because I'm hearing you on the phone. I'm hearing Will on the phone. You guys are fielding a lot more phone calls from people who are looking to get their purchase applications approved. And then you're doing a lot more of the HELOC thing, which we talked about at the top of the show, and even some cash outs here and there.
Yeah.
Our past client database is way more engaged now than they have been in like the last, I'd say 6 to 9 months, because I think we've reached a pinnacle where people are like, all right, I either got to do something or not do something. And the closer I get to being forced to do something, I feel like I have less control of whether I can or I will, or what it might look like to me. And I'll just have to face the consequence of my own personal delay. That's kind of the stuff over here. But what I wanted to bring up in this part is that regardless of whether it's still spring or it's summer, I think that the inventory thing is drawing people in to the mortgage application to home buy side. And I think personal financial pressure is forcing people to look at their home equity and see how it can help them out. I mean, I'm kind of hearing both sides of that occurring.
Yeah. So a lot of the conversations I'm having is clients saying, well, what am I able to do? What is an alternative route that I can take? I've heard about these ADUs. I've heard about investing in this. There's different types of things. There's a lot of demand for wanting to be able to invest in something, to be able to utilize that equity. I have some clients that I've done a cash out refinance, and they currently did another HELOC. This time around, they're like, I can't just keep drawing my equity. I need to put it to work. I need to invest in something. We had the conversation of what it would look like for him to, add an ADU to his backyard. He's exploring different options, but what I've been hearing a lot is that, they want to utilize the equity because they know that it's there, it's viable, you can utilize it, but they don't know what to put it to use for. They're also scared to just take it and not utilize it and just have it there and, waste it on things that they don't need. But it's almost as if they're waiting for somebody or something to happen where they're like, hey, you can take this and put it into here. But the biggest issue that I see is having the motivation to actually pull the trigger. And that goes across the board for refinances, investments, and even purchases. I have buyers that want to buy, are approved, well approved, but still have that hesitation. So I feel that the demand is definitely there, but there isn't enough motivation to actually tip over that glass and have everybody start purchasing, healthy, like we've been used to these during these types of seasons in the year. So I feel that it's more of having the proper vehicle to then invest your equity that gives clients and these homeowners the motivation to say that, okay, I could do that. I could see myself doing that. And I think a lot of the conversations I have is, I want to do something, but I don't know what.
Well, I think that kind of draws a line too between those who have choices of what they can do and those who don't. And this kind of goes back to the whole spending behavior thing. Like there are some people that I know you're talking to that they've kind of spent themselves into a problem and they need the house to bail them out.
Yeah.
And then there's people who are like, hey, I've got this equity. What can I do with it? And then they're doing the garage conversion or garage conversion or the junior ADU or the, granny flat in the back. And then that's going to convert some income for them, whatever. So the house is basically investing in itself to create some revenue and income for the property owners. I get that part. The other thing, though, that is interesting to me, and we talked about this. We did a whole show on this 2 weeks ago, which was the top 10 things you need to do for 2025 if you want to buy a house. And the reason I bring that up is because there is a growing number of mortgage applicants that are buying their first house, even in this market condition. Now, everyone that's already in this market or has seen a market that was way more favorable, let's say, where the rates were lower, the prices were lower, inventory was good, they got the house of their dreams. Well, everyone who's trying to buy a house now, they haven't had that experience. So they don't see it through that lens. They don't understand what it's like to have tasted the fruit the way you have. And so for them, the aspiration to buy a house is just as strong, even though the conditions are not the same. So if you're finding us right now, this part of the show, by the way, you can click on the banner above and you can actually go watch our top 10 things you need to do in 2025 to purchase a home. And it's done by chapter. So each little section we went through, you can watch that right now. So go take a look at that. But my point is that the demand on the mortgage side on both sides of the deal is really strong. And I think going into the summer, it's going to perpetuate because I don't see people's financial situations getting better unless they spend less money, make more money, or cure that debt in some other way. And the people on the buying side are either going to buy a house or they're going to be stuck in rental land for the foreseeable future unless they make that choice.
Yeah. And, one of the things that I'm noticing as well is that a lot of buyers are thinking a little bit more long-term now when they purchase. I was at a networking event the other day, one of our past guests, Andrew Greer, phenomenal mastermind. If you guys are here in San Diego looking to invest, I definitely encourage you to join and come out to the events. But he mentioned one play that I really think that people that are looking to, get started, want to invest or look at buying a house here in San Diego for a long term, one of the key plays that I see a lot of investors or just regular people that are buying houses that want to, aspire to get into the investment or just, find a different vehicle to invest in their long term, you're able to do what's called the triple play, where you're buying a single family house that has a garage in it. You then work on converting the garage, and then the end play would then put an ADU in the backyard. This then allows you to basically, quote unquote, develop 3 units, one being, the SFR, your garage conversion, and then the ADU in the long term. That sets you up for a very, very well, second play, which then means that you can now turn that into a rental, reap the benefits of that rental income to then qualify for that house or your dreams. Or you can just sell it, take the equity, dump it into your next property, and then that's another play. What I'm getting at is that, it's all about setting yourself up. And I think that if you think that you're getting set back, it might just be a different outlook of just getting a set up. And I just think that, if you look at it from a different point of view, you could still purchase a house. It's just, how are you going to do it?
And what I'm about to tell you is a little bit on the nerdy side, so hang with me. Part of home price appreciation staying the way it is because people are continuing to buy houses. But in areas where people are doing the triple play, where they're buying the single family house and they're doing the garage conversion and they're building ADU in the back, it's lifting up the property values in that entire neighborhood and sometimes that zip code based on the density of how many of these are happening at a certain time. Now, fast forward 12 months, if there's been a bunch of this activity in your neighborhood, and then now you go to list your house is now perceived as one that someone could do a triple play on.
Bam.
And then we go back to the price per square foot. And that price per square foot, based on the type of home, the area you're at, and the total square footage, is where that metric really matters when it comes to pricing your house right. And I think this is one of these kind of hidden, and it's kind of baked underneath the statistics because it's underneath the surface. You don't see it on the surface. You just see the number. Oh, median home price is this across the country. But baked inside of that are deals like this, where let's say a house that was $700,000 that has a garage conversion, a second story built, now is worth 1.6. Okay, now you're talking about a house that was $700,000 that's now worth 1.6. That when the person next door wants to sell, well, they're not selling at 1.6 because it's not 700 anymore. It's maybe 900. 900 now, because after converting it, it's 1.6.
Yes.
Now that's lifting up, and that price per square footage continues to tick, 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 and it's all happening under the surface. Thanks for hanging with me. Does that make sense?
Wow, that makes perfect sense. It's like, it's adding the square footage down the line that's going to give you that boost. And I think a lot of people don't look at that. It's like looking at you really have to visualize like, I'm really going to build this out here, and down the line, it's going to be worth this. If you're able to capitalize on that mindset, it's going to be a lot easier when you're looking at certain properties, what you're looking to do, how you're looking to do it. It's just setting yourself up for the right play.
I see two things happening, and this is kind of my final thought on this topic is, with mortgage applications being 20% higher this week than they were a year ago at the same week, and I'm not just saying this for a 1 week little snapshot. I think this is an indication of, at large, that people who are sick and tired of waiting are doing something about it.
Yeah.
And those who are kind of sick and tired of waiting and really, really just wanting to buy are ready. They're just like, let's do it now. There's just not, it's not, the things I'm waiting for aren't materializing. I just got to go do it now.
I just had that conversation where the client's like, I just missed out on these opportunities because I didn't pull the trigger. And now I'm backtracking and looking for something to do because I don't want to miss that opportunity again.
Yeah. I think that, again, that's basically FOMO.
Yeah.
Right. It's a FOMO move, but behind that FOMO is like, you know what? I've wanted to buy a house. I didn't buy a house. You know what? I'm sick and tired of waiting. And you know what? I really want to own. Well, now I'm going to have to just go do it in the conditions that I have before me.
So funny thing is that conversation I had, it was a referral through one of our partners. He's actually went to college and was in the same frat as our past guest, Sam.
Oh, wow.
And Rich Summers.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So we were talking about
That's crazy.
I don't know if you know this guy from San Diego, Rich. I'm like, wait, what is that? He's like, he does like little hotels. I'm like,
bro, we're in Rich's.
We're in his group. He's like,
we're in his group, man. What are you talking about?
I was in his fraternity. I was like, what the heck? What a small world. And then so then Sam. He's like, yeah, he was in my fraternity too. I'm like, yeah, what the heck? I'm like, so he's like, yeah, I see all them doing their thing. He's like, I'm actually trying to, operate. He's in Arizona, so he's looking to take some stuff down out there.
Yeah.
But full circle.
Yeah,